Hello everyone, welcome to Just Invest Today. And today we're going to be talking about Facebook. You know, Facebook has been going through a lot of issues, especially in the news, whether it's banning all the political talk and all that type of stuff. And this guy comes up with an article on Motley Fool on 3 reasons why he's finally selling his Facebook stock. So, we're going to go through this article and see if he has valid points because I own Facebook and I want to know if I should keep holding it. Should I sell it? What's the future of Facebook? Is it still a solid investment? Should we even think about investing in it right now? And at the end of the video, we're going to do a stock analysis and see where this company is heading, if it's undervalued, if it's overvalued, all of that. So let's get into this video. Okay, so this guy is just talking about how he's holding Facebook as a long-term investment and how long he's been holding it and how many users this has and all that type of stuff. So let's get into his first reason why he wants to get rid of Facebook. First reason why he wants to sell Facebook or he's selling Facebook. Let's get into the first reason. Its business model is unstable. Facebook generates nearly all of its revenue from targeted ads through Facebook's platform. Advertisers can target specific users based on social media profiles, social interaction activities on third-party apps and websites. So basically, what he's saying is that everything that's happened in this political sphere, Facebook uses automated and controlled algorithms instead of humans to actually direct ads at people. And he's saying this is very unproductive because of what happened to Donald Trump, how they ban him. So they're actually banning all these political players in the field and how this is going to actually hurt engagement and targeted ads towards certain people. So this is going to basically reduce their revenue and they can see this happening into the future. Future companies might get banned or taken off their platform for talking, reducing targeted ads, engagement, and all of that stuff. So so basically in this article they're just saying how what Facebook is doing is very unproductive for what they want to do and how they just generate all their money from ads. And if they're gonna remove people off their platform, they're not able to like target them because political ads are actually huge revenue boost for Facebook. So that's the first reason why he sees this as a bad thing and why he's selling his Facebook. And when I think about that, I still feel like Facebook is just like that's just one segment of Facebook. Like the political ads are actually really good, they're strong, but still like is that majority of what people are going to Facebook for political stuff? Like I doubt it. Like people are just trying to send pictures back and forth and take pictures of whatever and that's not like what they're really going to Facebook for, even though it's a big thing. Um, I can still see that Facebook actually can be using all the other stuff as a positive. So even though that's gonna hurt it, I still see that there's so much other stuff that Facebook can target and people talk about on Facebook that this is just a small segment. But this can actually force people to actually move to a different platform. So that's what I kind of see. They're tired of Facebook, they just want to get rid of it. So that can hurt engagement because they're seeing the trend of where Facebook is going and they don't like it. So that is an issue I can see happening. And the second reason, tighter regulations are inevitable. So guys, what do you think about this? This has been happening and has been ongoing in the news and the media that they're gonna actually divest, kind of split up Facebook because it's just a monopoly. It's getting too big, and they're saying they're gonna split up from because remember Facebook has WhatsApp, it actually has WhatsApp, it has Facebook, and then it has Instagram. And that's a huge social media juggernaut, which actually can like sway people's minds and like kind of fit a narrative. It can produce a narrative of what you want to see and what you want to have. So they're saying that this can't keep going on. Facebook is too powerful. They're too big. We gotta split them apart. And you've been seeing this in the news. Zuckerberg always going to the Capitol and talking about his monopolistic practices and all that type of stuff. So this is a huge risk, but I don't know. But Joe Biden, I don't feel like he's gonna do it because maybe because Facebook was on his side in this whole political sphere. So maybe he sees Facebook as a positive. But remember too, Section 230 of the 1996 Communications Decency Act, which shields social networks from lawsuits over content posted by users. And they're saying they might actually talk about this and maybe reform this law because it wants to hold Facebook accountable for what users say. I don't know if they're gonna switch that or they're gonna do something about that, but that could be a huge risk because that's gonna be more lawsuits on Facebook if anything happens, as we've seen in Capitol Hill or Uganda or any of those places. That can be a lot more lawsuits and a lot more like money expenses for lawyers and all that stuff. So that can actually hurt Facebook's made. So that's a huge problem. That can be very bad for Facebook. So I can see what he's saying, but what are the chances of that happening? They go over this law and they correct it or they split up Facebook. They even talked about Facebook is actually working with Google to actually get their ads kind of in front of other ads and how it's like the Google is favoriting Facebook. So there's been a lot of talk about regulations and we're gonna see if this is gonna happen. Like we don't know. It's a risk that you have to keep in mind, but we gotta weigh, is it likely to happen and is it sufficient enough to not invest in Facebook? So that's the second reason. Tell me what you guys think about that reason too. So the last reason, its revenue growth per user is stalling out. So basically Facebook has been growing revenue 22% in the last quarter, but even then he's saying that the revenue growth per person and the people in it Facebook already are getting oversaturated and this growth can't continue. The revenue growth per person is declining. It's not growing fast enough. So when I think about this, I think about how like Facebook hasn't even kind of like fully gathered everything yet. Like they haven't even like generated a profit of a WhatsApp. They're not even using WhatsApp as like a profit machine yet. So say Facebook doesn't like still grow that fast per person, I still feel like they have so much more to go. They have so much more stuff to do in that media section, in their social media section. So even though he's even though he's admitting that the revenue is growing, he's saying per person it's not steady enough. So that's what he's saying. And then he's also talking about how Apple's opt-in requirement for data tracking on the iOS 14. So Apple actually might like limit people from actually taking their data and using it. So maybe Facebook won't be able to target people as much and get those high revenue ads to like targeted people. So that could hurt their profits huge. And then they're saying like Facebook is oversaturated. There's no more people are going to be joining it, which I don't know. Like I feel like Facebook can still has a little wiggle room for like maybe 2 3 years, and I think 2 years 3 years may be sufficient. But even if it's not, I feel like they can grow revenue in other ways too. It doesn't have to be strictly on Instagram or Facebook. Like Facebook's smart, Zuckerberg's smart. He can find ways to keep developing Facebook or Instagram and keep finding ways to generate a profit. We see it on Instagram right now. They're using like the store is becoming huge on Instagram. You can always see it. It's on the bottom of the Instagram thing now. You click it, you can buy stuff off Instagram now so quickly. So you can see how it's moving into a more online space, a more online retailer. So, and he's saying that people are actually like TikTok, Snap, Pinterest, they're going to be taking market share from Instagram and Facebook because the younger audience, the younger people coming into the market, they like TikTok, they like Snapchat more, which is kind of true, but they're not like a social like Snap is, but TikTok is not really a social place where people like interact. So I can see Snapchat maybe taking more younger users, but I feel like if you have Snap, you have Instagram. So I don't know, like it's not either or. Like people, if you have Snapchat, you have Instagram. If you have Instagram, you might have Snapchat. But the odds of you having Snapchat and not Instagram, that's low. The odds of you having Instagram and not Snapchat, that's higher. People rather Instagram than Snap, in my opinion. But if the younger person has Snap, he's gonna have Instagram. So I don't know how that plays out. I don't see that as a big factor, but we'll see how this turns out. We'll see about the future of Facebook. Okay, so right now we're gonna do the stock analysis on Facebook. So when you go to Yahoo Finance, you can see next year is supposed to be growing at 12%, but the next 5 years is supposed to be growing at 16%, and that's on the low end. This stock or this company has been growing at 20% a year. So we're going to be using these numbers to find out what is the appropriate margin of safety for Facebook. So let's go on the low end, 16% year over year, and we're going to sell it at 32 PE in 10 years. A fair price today is 306, a margin of safety price of 153. Let's see if we get a 20%. 20% growth into the future. What is this stock going to look like? And we get a 537 fair price today. And that's what has been growing annually for the past years. It's been growing more than that. So this is actually like reasonable, but being conservative, we don't want to bet our money that a fair price today is $537. Let's see if we can actually just bring it down, be very conservative. We're going to go at a 15. So growth rate, 15% a year, and we're going to sell it at a 30 PE in the future. A fair price today of $263. So you can still see it's fairly priced right now because, yeah, Facebook is around $263 today, $265. A margin of safety price of $131. But guys, it's Facebook. We don't have to buy Facebook at a margin of safety price. It's such a strong company. It's been proven itself, and it's gonna continue growing, guys. So I don't even think you need to find a margin of safety price. I think paying a fair price today is completely valid. And then if we go on Google and we find, let's see what Facebook's selling at, $266. So $3 over at a fair price today. So I think Facebook is a buy, but remember there is risk, and I'm not giving you investment advice, but I think it's a buy. Do your own research. Find out what are your values. Do you not like what Facebook's been doing? Do you see the stock going down? Do you see they splitting up Facebook? There's a lot to actually understand and like think about to see if it's still gonna be a good investment in 5 to 10 years. So tell me guys, what do you think about this video? Do you want to buy Facebook? Do you want to hold it? Do you want to sell it? Tell me what you think about Facebook. Guys, if you like this video, can you please subscribe to my channel? Like this video, and I'm going to get back to you in the next video. Peace out.